Hey folks, it's Lev. Welcome back to another video. For those of you who are new and using pronouns, a little update. I just released a skit. It's actually the first skit I have ever made in my entire life. And it was a little project I had to do as part of my intentional peer support training. So that's the video before this one. So if you wanna check that out, you're more than welcome to. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of training recently at work and I just have been reflecting a lot about what's been taught and what we've discussed in training, and it's just sort of flipped my perspective on a few things or like solidified things I already know more strongly in my head. And today I wanted to talk about language. When talking about mental health and just different things people go through, we call it trauma aware language. Language plays a big part in how we view ourselves, especially, and in terms of mental health. The things I've been talking about in terms of trauma aware language is, for example, in mental health, there's typically people being diagnosed with XYZ mental health concerns and behaviors that deviate from what's considered normal and healthy are considered problematic. For example, this person is an alcoholic. This person has problem drinking. Uh this person's a drug user. Uh this person's depressed. This person's anxious. The list goes on. There's also language that's not very helpful, such as this person is damaged. Um, this person is difficult to work with, this person is complex to work with, this person is uh not very responsive to our support. Just language about what the person's going through and how they're behaving um can, like, it has an impact. And in trauma aware training we sort of flip that a little, and one thing that was really reinforced in my mind is that problems we consider to be, I mean, behaviors we consider to be problematic, such as someone drinking a lot of alcohol, or just smoking a lot, or doing things that we consider to be hurtful to themselves, is someone's best attempt at coping with whatever they're going through, their stress, the trauma, whatever they may be going through in life. It's their best attempt at coping and managing whatever they're going through right now. There was an example used in training where there was one person who consumed alcohol daily, a lot of alcohol daily, and the person's been labeled as having problem drinking. And when we asked the question of what happened to you rather than what's wrong with you, that question, the important question, what happened to you, as opposed to what's wrong with you, the person shared um, they had been abused and gone through all of these horrific things during their adolescent years, and when they stumbled upon drinking as a way to numb the pain and, you know, sort of escape the painful reality of having to live with all this trauma and stuff, it's like their only salvation in a world of hurt, and they keep coming back to consuming alcohol because it gives them sort of like a breather from all of this trauma and pain and all of these challenging experiences they go through. Analogy that was used in training is having a gingerbread man. Imagine gingerbread person. Imagine having a gingerbread person shape, and just the stress just fills up and it's like up to the neck, or just like barely a bit of buffer zone to breathe. Essentially, this is just stress just up here, and there's like no breathing room, and people's way of trying to get rid of some of the stress and return to a less heightened state, you could say, may be behaviors that we consider problematic. For example, the drinking. It's the person's way of lowering their lowering the levels of stress, de-stress, whatever may be going on internally, just to give them, I guess, bring more calm to their life and ease the pain. And yeah, this really makes me think about the relationship I had that ended with the person behaving in a way that really hurt me by cheating. It really makes me think now, like, another question we ask in training is, what is this doing for you? And again, instead of asking what's wrong with you, asking, what is this doing for you? What are you getting out of this? For example, yeah, with the person who drank alcohol, it's their means of escape from the painful reality in a way. And in terms of cheating, I don't know. It's like, if I could go back in time and I hadn't yeeted the person out of my life yet, I would ask, what is this doing for you? What are you getting out of this? And that facilitates a conversation, that opens the door for a conversation, as opposed to saying, what is wrong with you? Which, by the way, I didn't say to the person. I didn't say what's wrong with you. But just in general, we tend to see behaviors that are considered problematic as something wrong with the person and they need to be fixed. I mentioned this in a earlier video. I don't know which video, like an early one, that no one comes out of the womb and thinks I'm gonna do X, Y, Z when I'm older. Someone doesn't come out the womb and think I'm gonna cheat on people during my adolescent or adult years. I'm not gonna cheat on my partner. Wait, they're not gonna think I'm gonna cheat on my partner when I'm older, or I'm gonna be drinking alcohol all day, every day, or I'm gonna be gambling, or whatever it may be. The problem behaviors. No one comes out of the womb thinking they're gonna do X, Y, Z when they're older. It's just we we go through life, we get hurt, trauma can accumulate, we may feel overwhelmed, overloaded, and find like there's no way out of it. And just bonding with something or finding something that gives us that breathing space and that relief, even for if it's a short term thing, relief from the pain and just feeling so not nice all the time, it logically makes sense that we will want to go back to it because it it's a salvation. It's important to remember that every single one of us, is first and foremost a human being, and not some and we're a human being who experiences complex things and goes through all of this messiness that is life, and not just seeing ourselves or seeing other people as all of these behaviors or these diagnoses, this label. We are human beings first and foremost. We're not a disorder. We are not trauma. We are not pain. We are human beings who experience trauma. We are human beings who experience pain. We are human beings who experience challenges and rough times with our mental health. I also used to be stuck in the trap of just looking at someone and their circumstances and think, if I was in their shoes, I would do X, Y, and Z. Why aren't they doing X, Y, and Z? And at the time, like when I was younger, I failed to recognize that I'm not them. I wasn't grown. I didn't grow up the same way as them. I wasn't exposed to the same environments as them. I haven't been through what they have been through, and my experiences of navigating and living this world is different to that person's, and what something I may know is something they may not know, and vice versa. And so yeah, it's not a helpful way to see things anymore. Just seeing people say, why don't you do this? They're not us, and I'm not them. Yeah, and to build connection, just it's important to meet people where they at, and just acknowledging that we are two different human beings with different lived experiences coming together to sort of build this connection. And something I learned, we talk about a lot in intentional peer support training is how do we navigate this? Like I've mentioned this in another video too. Like how do we navigate this messiness together? It's okay if it's imperfect, and it's okay we don't have all the answers. It's just how can we work together to navigate through this space? And yeah, sit with feelings of discomfort or conflict and just the good, bad, and indifferent, the highs, the lows, the mediocre. Just yeah, how do we navigate this entire thing together? And how do we build a healthy and safe relationship with appropriate boundaries so that we can travel with each other but not end up hurting each other through yeah, not having clear boundaries, for example. Because the ultimate point, the key point I'm trying to say with this video is that things we consider to be problematic behaviors are actually someone's best way of coping with whatever they're going through at this at the current point in their life, and that there is always more beneath the surface than what's seen on the top. For example, the drinking alcohol daily, drinking a lot of alcohol daily, that's just the top of the iceberg. That's just what we see on the top. But we usually don't dive deeper and say, what's underneath it? What's driving this? What happened to this person that led them to this point? Um, asking, what is this doing for the person? Instead of, what is wrong with you? Thanks for watching, folks, and I'll see you in the next video.